You wake up, and before you've even moved a muscle, something is already wrong. There's no fire, no alarm, no emergency yet. Your chest feels tight. Your mind is already racing. Your fingers instinctively reach for the phone before your eyes even fully open. And just like that, your day begins. Not with clarity, but with clutter. Notifications, news, the lives of other people screaming through the glass. This is the storm we all wake into. A modern kind of chaos, quiet, constant, invisible. Not thunder or sirens, but the pressure to respond, perform, fix, be better, do more. And it begins before breakfast. But what if there's another way? What if peace isn't something we earn after we solve everything, but something we choose before anything begins? What if the most radical act you could do in today's world was to slow down? In the 2nd century, Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, wars, political betrayal. Yet he wrote not about vengeance, but about stillness. He penned this line in the quiet of his journal: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Strength not in control, but in surrender. Peace not as the prize, but as the starting point." This ancient idea has outlived empires because it speaks to something deeper than history. It speaks to you now, standing in a world that profits from your panic and never teaches you how to let go. We often think of happiness as a reward, something waiting for us on the other side of a goal, a fix, a perfect version of ourselves. But the Stoics challenge this idea. They say happiness is not something you chase, it's something you protect. Like a flame in the wind, and the wind never stops blowing. The world will not quiet down for you. The inbox won't empty itself. The traffic won't part. The expectations won't slow. But you can. And this is where our journey begins, not with how to fix your life, but with a better question. How do I return to myself even when everything around me is loud? This isn't a guide to becoming someone else. This is about remembering who you already are, beneath the urgency, the scroll, the performance. Because the truth is, if you don't decide how your day begins, the world will decide for you. And it won't be kind. It will be loud, addictive, demanding. It will pull you in 1,000 directions, then ask why you feel lost. The Stoics understood this. They didn't promise bliss. They didn't pretend life was easy. But they left us a map, a way to walk through life unmoved by the noise and grounded in what matters. And that's what this video's about. Not hacks, not hustle, not surface-level motivation, but deep, slow, powerful realignment, a return to inner sovereignty. So if you've ever woken up feeling like you're already behind, if you've ever longed for silence but only found more to do, if a part of you wonders whether life could be lived differently, you're not alone, and you're in the right place. This video is an invitation to pause, not just for the sake of rest, but to rediscover what's been waiting for you underneath the noise all along. The wisdom of those who came before us, the calm you thought you lost, and the strange, beautiful clarity that comes from letting go. Let's begin with the first step. Understanding what's truly within our control. Because so much of our anxiety, our exhaustion, our struggle doesn't come from the world. It comes from how we try to control the world. We all do it. We make lists, we schedule, we optimize, we refresh the news, check the weather, overthink what someone meant in a text. We hold tight, we grip tighter, and we call it being responsible. But beneath the surface, many of us are not organizing, we're bracing. Bracing for what could go wrong, bracing against the chaos, bracing against the ache of not knowing what happens next. That's the illusion of control. The sense that if we plan enough, if we care enough, if we anticipate every possible future, we can finally relax. But the Stoics had a different view. They didn't deny uncertainty, they made peace with it. Epictetus said it plainly, some things are up to us and some things are not. It's one of the simplest and hardest truths to live. Imagine trying to carry the ocean in your hands. That's what we're doing when we try to control things beyond us, the economy. Other people's moods, timing, outcomes, random events, even the past. You squeeze harder, and it slips faster through your fingers. Control, it turns out, isn't strength. Letting go is. Let me tell you about Maya. She's a freelance designer who built a steady client base over 5 years. Then one month, 2 clients dropped out. Maya panicked. She worked 12-hour days for weeks, refreshing Upwork, DMing strangers on LinkedIn, reading business articles at 1 a.m. She thought she was being productive, but slowly her work suffered. Her creativity dried up. She missed deadlines, skipped meals, and forgot her best friend's birthday. Why? Because she was trying to control what wasn't hers, to control other people's decisions, market shifts, external demand. She didn't pause to breathe. She didn't ask herself what mattered most. She only tightened her grip and spun deeper into fear. Eventually, she stopped. One evening, Maya closed her laptop, lit a candle, and sat in silence. She remembered what she could control: her craft, her outreach, her rest, her boundaries. 3 weeks later, she had new clients, not because she hustled harder, but because she got clearer. The Stoics would call this a return to reason, a stepping back from the fog of reaction and stepping into intentional response. It's not about being passive, it's about recognizing your sphere of influence and acting with purpose within that sphere. The irony is that when you let go of what's not yours, you often gain more power over what actually is. This principle can transform how we live. Here are a few practical examples. You can't control the weather, but you can control whether you go for that walk anyway with a coat or with gratitude for rain. You can't control how someone reacts, but you can control the kindness, firmness, or clarity in your words. You can't stop bad news from showing up, but you can choose whether to consume it first thing in the morning or after you've centered yourself. The difference is everything. One path leads to chronic stress. The other leads to inner space. But here's the challenge. Our world doesn't reward letting go. It rewards performance, hustle, visibility, control. So to live this way, to choose calm over chaos, is to live differently. It's to swim against a current. But that's exactly why it matters. Stoicism is not about detachment from life. It's about reattachment to what matters. Letting go isn't withdrawal. It's a strategic retreat from illusion into clarity. So how do we do this? Practically, start with one daily check-in, just one. At the start of the day or whenever you feel anxious, ask, is this within my control? If the answer is yes, act. If the answer is no, breathe. Repeat, refocus, return to center. This tiny act of discernment is a form of spiritual hygiene. It keeps your energy where it counts. And over time, it rewires the way you relate to pressure. You stop fighting the waves and start moving with the tide. The world won't change. People will still be difficult. Projects will still fall through. Weather will still surprise you. But you'll be different. And that's where peace begins, not in changing the world, but in changing your stance toward it. You'll start noticing what's essential, what's yours to carry, what can be set down. And that's where alignment begins, which brings us to the next phase of our journey. Letting go isn't the end, it creates a space to remember what really matters. There's a certain kind of tired that even the strongest coffee can't touch. It's not physical, it's existential. It comes from a quiet misalignment, the kind you don't notice at first. The kind that creeps in while you're busy doing all the right things, saying all the right words, smiling when you're expected to. It's the fatigue of drifting too far from yourself. You're not just tired, you're disconnected. from meaning, from joy, from the deeper reason you once had for waking up with purpose. And the world, fast as it moves, doesn't give you time to ask why. But what if you gave yourself that time? What if you reclaimed your mornings not to hustle harder, but to realign? The Japanese have a word for this, ikigai. It means a reason for being. It's not a job description, not a career plan. It's a delicate intersection of four timeless questions. What do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need? And what can you be paid for? When these things overlap, even a little, something profound happens. You begin to feel lit from within. You begin to sense your time isn't just passing, it's being lived. Not perfectly, but truthfully. This idea isn't about quitting your job or chasing a fantasy. It's about reconnecting with your quiet, knowing the part of you that remembers what made you come alive before the world told you who to be. Let me tell you about someone. Let's call him Jordan. Jordan was a corporate lawyer in a high-rise firm. He had everything that looked like success, salary, status, certainty. But every morning he woke up with a heavy silence in his chest. Not dread, just nothingness. Like going through the motions behind a glass wall. One Sunday on a whim, Jordan joined a local community piano class. No logic, just a pull. He hadn't played since he was a kid, but something in him remembered the joy. Within a few months, he started teaching beginner piano on weekends. No grand plan, no dramatic reinvention. Just one thread of his past brought gently into a present. 2 years later, Jordan still practices law but part-time. He teaches piano 3 days a week. He makes less money, but he feels whole. That's alignment. Not escape, not perfection, just truth lived out quietly. The Stoics never use the word ikigai, but they live by its essence. To them, every person had a role not defined by status but by contribution. They called it duty to the human community, a sacred responsibility to live with clarity and to offer what only you can offer. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being, not just a job, a calling." Your role isn't just to execute tasks. It's to be awake to move through the world with integrity, attention, and care. This is why the first hour of your day matters so deeply. It's not about squeezing more output. It's about remembering who you are before the world asks you to perform. Before the emails, before the headlines, before the noise. The first hour is a gate, a chance to pause and ask, what stirs my curiosity even if it makes no sense? What do I do effortlessly that others find difficult? When have I felt most useful, even in small ways? What am I avoiding that might secretly matter to me? These aren't productivity hacks. They're compass questions, designed not to give answers, but to pull you closer to your own North Star. And maybe that starts with a notebook, a line written in the dark, or a walk without headphones, or a refusal to touch your phone for the first 30 minutes. Small, quiet rebellions that realign your spirit before the world demands it conforms. You don't need a 5-year plan. You need 5 quiet minutes. 5 minutes to return to yourself, to remind your brain and your body that you are not a machine. You're a vessel of thought, emotion, energy, a living human being with depth and wonder. The Stoics would tell you, your job is not to impress. It's to express clearly and with purpose. And that starts at the beginning of the day, when your mind is soft, when the world hasn't reached you yet. That's the soil of alignment. Now here's what the world gets wrong. Your worth isn't what you produce. Your value isn't your title, your salary, your inbox count. Purpose doesn't always look like ambition. Sometimes it looks like care, like the patience to listen to a friend's silence, like the decision to write something honest and let it be unseen, Like growing something you may never harvest because you believe in the planting. Marcus wouldn't call this ikigai. He'd call it living in accordance with nature, which for him meant living in accordance with your inner truth, your deepest values. And that kind of living, it doesn't begin with fanfare. It begins in stillness, in the tiny choices that no one sees. So let me offer this: don't chase alignment. Practice it. Every morning is a chance to notice where you're off and to gently steer back. Like a sailor adjusting the sails. The wind will always shift, but you can still move forward. And often that forward motion doesn't begin in the morning at all. It begins the night before, in how you end your day, how you wind down, and what space you leave for reflection. Because the way you close your eyes deeply shapes how you open them again. And that's where we're headed next. Most people don't lose the day at noon. They lose it before they've even left the bed. And it's not because they're lazy, it's because they never stood a chance. Their day begins in a storm of noise. Notifications, alarms, mental to-do lists, vague guilt about everything they didn't finish yesterday. They wake up with their nervous systems already hijacked. They scroll, they react, they compare. Before they have taken a breath, their attention belongs to someone else. This isn't just unhealthy, it's unsustainable. But here's the truth that cuts through the noise: it's not your fault that the world is loud, but it is your responsibility to protect your inner stillness. And where does that protection begin? It doesn't start at 6 a.m. with green juice or motivational quotes. It starts the night before. Because your morning isn't a standalone event, it's the second half of a sentence you started writing yesterday. Seneca once said, "The mind must be given relaxation. It will rise improved and sharper after a good rest." The Stoics understood something modern life often ignores. Recovery is part of preparation. So instead of starting with how you wake, begin with how you sleep. Imagine this. It's late. You feel the urge to check your email one more time. You don't. You feel the itch to scroll through headlines. You pause, you dim the lights. You sit in silence. No screens, no urgency, just presence. You write down 3 things for tomorrow, not 10. You sip water. You take 3 slow breaths. You don't race into sleep. You arrive there. And in that soft arrival, something begins to shift. You've already started winning tomorrow by choosing calm over chaos. That choice is subtle, but it's powerful. You're not just preparing for sleep. You're honoring a boundary. You're telling your nervous system you are safe to rest. Now imagine this too. The next morning your alarm goes off, but you don't reach for your phone, not yet. Instead, you sit up slowly. You feel the ground under your feet. You take one deep breath, no soundtrack, no input, just you. In that moment, you've done something rare. You've chosen your own consciousness before absorbing someone else's. That's not a routine, that's a reclamation. The Stoics had a word for this: prohairesis, your inner authority, your capacity to choose your response to the world. No one can steal it from you. But you can give it away 100 times a day through distraction, reaction, and unexamined habit. Your first moments matter because they remind you who's in charge. And here's the best part: this doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need a bulletproof routine. You don't need 5 apps and a 20-step protocol. You need one thing: awareness. Awareness that your first breath, your first movement, your first choice sets the tone for everything that follows. You don't need to start with power. You just need to start with presence. Maybe you choose stillness, no phone for 20 minutes, just silence. Maybe you choose movement, a slow stretch, a short walk, not for performance, but for grounding. Maybe you choose clarity, not your full to-do list, but 3 things that matter today. Just 3. These are not productivity tricks. They're micro acts of self-respect. Each one says, "This day is mine to shape. I am not here to be managed by the noise. I am here to lead from within." And when you stack these choices one on top of the next, something else happens. You begin to feel aligned. Because it's not about cramming more activity into your morning. It's about removing the friction that keeps you from your center. You don't need more. You need less rushing, less reaction, less pressure to win the morning. When you subtract the chaos, you make room for what's essential. The experience of being alive, awake, and available for your own presence. Let me share Ava's story. Ava worked in marketing. Every morning felt like a race alarm. She snoozed 3 times emails before breakfast, constant background anxiety. She kept trying to fix it with planners, apps, even accountability calls. Nothing helped. Then one day she made one change, one. She stopped checking her phone until after breakfast. No dramatic overhaul, no cold showers, just 1/2 hour of untouched presence at the beginning of her day. The result, within weeks, she felt lighter. Not perfect, but lighter. Mornings became gentler. She didn't dread them anymore. Her coworkers noticed she was calmer, more responsive, less reactive. And it wasn't because of a to-do list, it was because of one choice repeated over time. That's the quiet power of reclaiming your morning. It's not about becoming a morning person. It's about becoming a person who chooses how to begin, even if it's messy, even if you wake up late, even if you miss a step. Every morning is a new page. You don't have to carry yesterday into it. And that's where your power lies, in the return, in the rebuilding, in the invisible decisions no one else sees, but that shape everything you are becoming. These moments, sitting up slowly, stretching with care, resisting the scroll, choosing your top 3, they don't go viral, but they build your core. They build your presence. They build your life. Because in the end, reclaiming your morning is not about rituals for their own sake. It's about remembering what those rituals return you to, a self that is calm, awake, and in command. And when you begin your day from that place, even if it's just for 10 minutes, you become the kind of person who doesn't just respond to life. You create it. And that's what we explore next. What happens when these small, quiet rituals begin to stack? When your identity is no longer something you hope for, but something you embody, that's where we're headed, into the power of small actions and how they quietly build everything. We often imagine that transformation arrives like a lightning bolt. It's the moment that goes viral, the life-changing decision, the applause-worthy leap. But that's not how it usually happens. Real transformation is quieter, more humble. It's not made in the spotlight. It's forged in solitude, in repetition, in the small, invisible choices that compound over time. The Stoics knew this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius didn't write meditations for the world. He wrote them for himself, as reminders, as anchors, as a daily return to what mattered. Seneca said consistency is the foundation of virtue, and Epictetus taught that each choice we make is a vote for the person we are becoming. That's the real secret of change. Not intensity, but consistency. Not noise, but rhythm. So, what does this look like in real life? It looks like a ritual. Not a grand aesthetic performance, but a small, honest act. Something like making your bed. That might sound underwhelming, but stay with me. Because each time you pull those sheets into place, you're not just tidying your room. You're reminding yourself, I finish what I start. I care how this day begins. I show up. That's not a task. That's identity work. It's the difference between wishing you were disciplined and slowly becoming someone who is. Let me share a story. There was a man named Caleb. Every morning he woke with anxiety pressing on his chest, racing thoughts, that frozen feeling of not knowing where to begin. He tried routines, he read articles, nothing stuck. Then one day a mentor told him, start with one thing you can finish. Something small, something doable. So he made his bed. That was it. It felt strange at first, insignificant, but it was something he could complete before the day had a chance to overwhelm him. That one action became his anchor. A few days later, he added something else, 2 minutes of journaling, just one line of reflection, then a glass of water, then 5 slow breaths. Each act on its own was tiny, but together they formed a rhythm, a gentle structure, a quiet signal to his nervous system. You're not drowning. You're here. You're steady. Months passed. The anxiety didn't vanish, but it changed shape. It lost its grip. Why? Because Caleb had proof. Proof that he could take care of himself, that he could follow through, that even when the world felt uncertain, he didn't have to be. That's what rituals give you. They're not about optimization, they're about alignment. Each time you follow through on a small promise to yourself, you repair trust. Each repetition becomes a subtle vote for who you are and who you're becoming. That's not motivation, that's identity in motion. So how do you start? Start small, start now, and start where you are. Don't wait for the perfect system. Don't map out 30 days in Notion. Don't overthink it. Pick one thing you already do and attach a simple ritual to it. Brush your teeth. Afterward, write one sentence in a notebook. Drink coffee. Sip it slowly in silence for 1 full minute. No phone, just breath. Walk to your desk. Before sitting, say one intention out loud. Today I will meet discomfort with patience. These aren't tasks, they're declarations. Not to the world, but to yourself. And the beauty of starting small, it's sustainable, it's adaptable, it's real. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. You don't need to meditate for an hour. You don't need to become a new person overnight. You just need to choose one small act and honor it daily. And when it feels boring, good, because that's where the transformation happens. When it's no longer about excitement, when it becomes part of your way of being. We're trained to think that change is supposed to feel dramatic, but the Stoics knew otherwise. They knew that peace is found in rhythm, that strength is forged in repetition, that real discipline is quiet, not loud. So pick your ritual, name it, own it. And here's what happens next. Over time, your ritual becomes a refuge. On hard days, it grounds you. On chaotic days, it centers you. And on good days, it deepens your joy because it reminds you how far you've come. And here's the deeper truth. Your rituals don't just affect your mornings. They shape how you listen, how you speak, how you move through discomfort. They create space between stimulus and response, the space where your best self lives. They build resilience, not as a slogan, but as a lived experience. Because when everything feels uncertain, the one thing you can always return to is your rhythm, your breath, your anchor, your quiet discipline. But there's one more thing that makes a ritual last, not guilt, not force, but connection, accountability, not to a boss or a rule, but to a person, to someone who walks beside you, who sees your effort, who reminds you of your intention when you forget. That could be a friend, a partner, a coach, or even a community. Not to impress, but to be witnessed. Because some days it's not your discipline that carries you forward. It's the knowledge that someone else is walking the same path. And that's where we're going next. Discipline is personal, but it doesn't have to be lonely. In fact, the most enduring growth often begins the moment we realize we don't have to do this alone. The ancient Stoics knew this. They gathered in porches, temples, and homes, not just to preach, but to practice together. Seneca mentored young philosophers. Epictetus taught in small rooms, guiding his students through daily struggle. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor, still sought wisdom in community, because no matter how strong the philosophy, we need each other to remember it. Here's why this matters. You'll have days when the alarm feels too early, when the breath feels too shallow, when your bed feels like the only safe place left. And in those moments, having someone, a friend, a partner, even a distant online companion who sees your journey, changes everything. It's not about being pushed, it's about being witnessed. Knowing that your effort echoes in someone else's life too. Let's talk about Mia and Noor. They met in a Stoic reading group, both trying to build better mornings, both tired of starting over. So they made a pact. Every night they'd text each other one intention for the next morning. Every morning they'd check in. It wasn't about judgment, it was about holding space. 6 months later, their lives hadn't become perfect, but they'd become more rooted. They both say, what kept me going wasn't the ritual, it was the relationship around the ritual. And that's the point. We rise better when we rise together. But even with support, you'll still falter. You'll still miss mornings. You'll still break your rhythm sometimes. And that's okay, because this path isn't about perfection, it's about return. Return to intention, return to presence, return to the gentle work of becoming. And when you forget, let this thought bring you back. Memento mori, remember death. Not to scare you, but to awaken you. The Stoics reflected on mortality not as fear, but as fuel. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Each morning is a gift you weren't guaranteed. Each breath a quiet opportunity. So when you rise, rise aware. When you speak, speak with integrity. When you choose, choose with intention. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's yours. This life is yours." So what's the lesson? Start small, stay steady, ask for support, let go of perfection, keep returning. Find rituals that root you. Create space that serves you. Reflect often, love deeply, and treat each morning not as an obligation, but as an invitation. To wake up not just physically, but spiritually, to begin again. And if you're still here, if you've walked through all 6 parts with me, then I want to say this. Thank you. You're not just consuming content, you're cultivating yourself. And that effort is rare and deeply meaningful. If this journey resonated, explore further. Reflect more deeply. Share it with someone you trust. And keep showing up for yourself and for the world that needs your light. This is the path of a quiet warrior, of a calm builder, of a stoic soul in a noisy world. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay steady, stay kind, and rise well.